they would call her up and they said, can we come and talk to you about your project, or you're doing this, this, and this? And you know what she'd say? I would appreciate it if you didn't.
Oh.
She's such an honest person
She
and
said,
humble.
I don't do this. People will say, I'm doing this because of my husband. She says, I've done this all my life. And if you start doing this, then I'm not going to be able to do this anymore.
Right.
I'm not going to be able to help people. And none of them ever wrote a story about her. But I blew it.
You blew it.
What'd you do?
Well, it was about it was Christmas time, and one of the reporters, Quincy's son, said, Mayor, what are you getting your wife for Christmas? And I just brought it out. I'm getting her a water buffalo. What? Water buffalo? Do you have a water buffalo in your backyard? You're going to graze it in your backyard? And I said, no. I said, I asked her what she wanted. And I said, she said she wanted a water buffalo. And she wanted to contribute it to a family in India, because a water buffalo does two things. It gives you food, makes milk, cheese, and that sort of thing. And it's a beast of burden. It actually plows the fields. And she wanted, she said she wanted me to give her a water buffalo so she could give it to the Indians. Of course, it made headlines.
Of course it did.
You know? And I said, oh my God.
I remember one Christmas, Grandma, she either let us pick it out, or that's like, I think I bought chickens.
Chickens.
Yeah.
For somebody.
Same program.
Yeah.
That's
I
really
love that.
cool.
Those chickens went to India.
That's
That's
so
amazing.
great.
That's
She
such a
did all
great-
that stuff, and she just
You,
did it really quietly.
you called her out, Pappy.
Call her out. Well, what would you do if you were a reporter? What are you going to get your wife?
That's what you
I'm gonna
did.
go a water buffalo. What?
Wait, what?
It's the truth.
The mayor's buying a water buffalo? First of all, the first thing he was saying was, well, he's going to have to graze it somewhere, so he's going to graze it in his yard. That's a violation of law.
No one's gonna waste a nabia.
I could see the crank going.
Breaking all kinds of ordinances.
Yep.
No, it's for India.
Oh, Grandma.
She did a great job. She was very classy.
Yeah. It's a very classy
Very
lady.
classy. She knew she could deal with it. Anyway, Luke was the same way.
Luke could have done politics. Still could.
He had more talent than I did, by far. And we'd go to the senior buildings, and there maybe be 100 units in the building. And so we'd campaign, so we'd have cookies and tea and all that stuff. And it's just different tables, and I'd speak. Luke would go, and he'd go from table to table to table. And on the way back, he would start telling us all these stories that he had heard. You know, and it was natural for him.
Yeah.
You know, and he'd go and sit with him and talk, and he'd look over and they'd be laughing, and they would be engaged in what he said. He was a natural.
He could have
Wow.
done it. I won't be surprised if Luke does that at some point in his future.
Does something like it, yeah.
Runs for office of some kind.
You
He could do it.
Runs a charity or something. I could see him doing any of those kind of things.
well, I want him to be happy. That's more important. You know, I might want him to be this or that. I could have got him into West Point,
Yeah.
and he had
Yeah.
a great military mind. And he said, Dad, he said, I don't want to go to West Point. I love music. I'm going to Nashville.
I'm going to
All right.
Nashville.
Okay.
So he and Jen pack everything up and go to Nashville. They don't know a single soul,
Yeah.
you know, and they don't have any money.
Yeah.
So they stay in this complex, and in order to pay for the rent, he helped do maintenance work.
I didn't know that.
Didn't
Oh,
either.
man.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Probably a long time ago when he did that.
Yeah.
I'm so happy they have kids now. I know it wasn't planned, but I think Luke, I think, really likes being a dad.
I think he
I
does.
think he's really...
I'll tell you, those little twins, They love that. They love Luke.
They do.
Boy, I'll tell you.
They've got so much energy.
And he's, you know, he spends a lot of time with him.
Mhm.
You know, Luke is he's got a lot of his mother in him.
Mm.
You know, the ability to speak and to, you know, Joanne could sit down and she wouldn't know anything about anybody at a table with him. You know, she could start a conversation going and just, you know, they'd feel comfortable. Well, Luke was that way, still is.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Uncle Luke.
interesting life.
Yeah.
Interesting life. The only thing I regret is that I didn't insist, and probably would have done no good, that I should have insisted that she go to Israel with me.
Grandma?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we got to go everywhere, or places where most people couldn't go, and
Mm-hmm.
we even went to the Prime Minister's home, and after I was done, I said, boy, she would have loved Israel.
She would have. Yeah. Like my mom did, probably.
Yeah, I can understand how your mother felt the way she did.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, because you're there, that's where the three world's biggest religions had their origination, and you had a sense that that's where it all started, and that's where it all was going to end
Mm-hmm.
at some point.
It's incredible. I would love to go.
Mm-hmm.
I floated in the Dead Sea.
Was it like I heard that it's actually like it hurts a little bit, like it stings because it's so salty. Like if or not really.
Well, it may have, but you know, I always have a tan, but I don't. They make a dismal. They make some kind of salve.
Yeah, that's
or
true.
Cream
Yeah.
for your skin, and it's dark.
Yeah, like it's from the dirt. Like
That's
in the
right.
bottom.
They take
yeah.
it right from the Dead Sea,
Wow.
and they sell it, and you see people come down with it all on their faces and arms and hands.
Yeah,
and
that's true. That's a good point. Yeah.
Do you
Dead
float?
Sea.
Like you literally pick up your feet and you float. Is
Oh,
that
you
true?
float. You float.
Really?
Oh yeah, you float.
Oh, that's so cool.
You float. That's why you don't keep your eyes open either, because the salt water gets in your eyes.
Yeah.
I thought it was a little dirty though.
Really?
I thought the Israelis could have done a better job, where you would go in and put your bathing suits on and those things.
Yeah, my mom has funny stories about that, about having to change there.
Yeah,
She said
In
it
front
was,
of people.
Yeah.
yeah.
I'd be
If you-
uncomfortable.
It's
Yeah.
a more a public place, you know.
Yeah.
Public for women, public for men. It's and I went up on Mount Sada, where all those Jews fled from the Roman soldiers, and the Roman soldiers couldn't get up there because it was so steep. So they built a bridge out of dirt, so they could roll things up to the top of it. And all the Jewish people committed suicide. They jumped off.
Oh yes, I remember that story.
And when you become part of the Israeli Defense Force, and every young person has to, you take your oath up on Mount Masada.
Wow.
Really?
I didn't know that.
It's fascinating.
It's incredible.
Then you drive along and they stop the bus and see that area up there? Some where they found the Dead Sea Scrolls.
Wow. That must be so
Some peasant
cool.
kid was throwing rocks in a cave, and all of a sudden he broke something. And they went in, and there were those old Dead Sea Scrolls.
That's amazing. What a find.
Yeah.
It's amazing. When I go, I'm going to find your tree, Pappy.
It should be there somewhere. I got a picture around somewhere. It's one of the ones I show my kids when I do my course on the Middle East.
Mm-hmm.
Because you can see me, I'm planting the tree, and behind me is the valley where Jerusalem is, and you can see the train going through. You know,
Wow.
it's such a fascinating area.
Did Uncle Luke say he's been to Israel? feel like you mentioned that before. No,
I don't. You said he's been there.
I
Has
can't
it?
remember.
I don't know. I don't think. I don't remember that he was.
Darn.
His interest didn't go that way too much.
Yeah.
It was all music,
Mm-hmm.
and that's good because that's what he loved. His mother was that way. I didn't care. My mother was musical. She couldn't sit down at the piano, play a song, and never took a lesson.
Really?
Yeah,
That's amazing.
you know. That piano's 100 years old. That's a
Wow.
player. Whenever I first ran into that piano, I could sit there. We put the rolls on them and pump,
Yeah.
and they play all the songs.
That's so cool.
Can it still do that or no?
In fact, I have 2 big boxes of brand new rolls in the garage that were never used. I
Wow.
took them out of the attic when Arthur did all the work in here.
Oh yeah.
When he got up in the attic, I said, clean everything up, pile it down there, I'll go through it. So they brought down the boxes.
That's amazing.
Yeah. Yeah. Where does it all go?
Yeah.
How fast it passes. How fast it passes. No time at all.
Goes quickly.
Is yours just?
Oh, that's your copy for
That's a
Grandma and Mom on Monday.
Perfect.
So is a lot of that stuff in the garage from the attic?
What's that? I'm sorry?
Is a lot of the stuff in the garage from the attic and
Yeah, everything. I pretty much have everything in the garage, and we're going through box by box.